All righty. Let's see. Let's see if it works. Crossing my fingers. Okay. I don't know what happened, but I'm prayerful that it worked. Okay. So I'm going to pretend it worked because it looks like, oh, great. Okay, great. It's working. It's working. Okay, let me do one more thing. Okay. Okay. Welcome, 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 everybody. I'm Dr. Venus, your Black Woman Millionaire's mentor. And I have been fighting with Zoom for the last 10 minutes and Facebook Live to get this to go together because I wanted to talk with you today about Kanye West, okay? And I just want to check to see if things are working because otherwise I'm screwed. And I don't know if they are, but I'm going to try. All right, it says we're streaming, so I'm crossing my fingers, I'm crossing my eyes and all the stuff that comes with it because I want to be able to have a conversation with you about Kanye, all right? And not so much about him. That's not my concern. What I'm more interested in having a conversation with is about the impact of his words, okay, versus his intention, all right? So let me just get on the page to make sure we're good. And I'm just gonna look because I'm just trying to see if this is working. So if it is, just please, oh, there you are, thank you, God. It is working, all right, all right. Okay, oh, yay, it is working, all right. So this is a good sign. And what I can't see is whether or not I had created this whole wonderful, word thing. I have written out a whole lot of words and I wanted to frame it before we jump in because I want to make sure y'all, that we move it forward, that we don't turn it into like something negative. And I'm not even tripping off that because I got something for you that I need you to deal with in your business and in your life and in your branding. But what I need to do is I want to get some language up here so that people who don't know me get ready for this. And I've set aside about 50 minutes. So we're going to be here for a minute. All right. And that's intentional because I need to break some things down to you so you can see what I'm seeing. OK, and you can actually have some power in the face of what happens in the world. All right. So I'm going to pull this up and I want to talk to you. So thank you for your patience. I want to talk with you a bit about where are you? Come on, God. Oh, fuck. Don't let me cut something off. OK, I think here we are. All right. I want to talk to you about something. I want to edit the post. So that shouldn't be a bad thing because I can't get. OK, great. I'm hoping this works. Jesus, let it work. For the love of God and all things holy, let it work. Okay, I want to edit the post. Yes. Thank you, God. God is my friend. Thank you, Lord. Bless God. Okay, because I need to put some context in there. Otherwise, people are going to not understand me. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I love my tribe. Thank you, God. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for thank you for just for the love. So I'm putting this in real quick. Okay, my prayer is that it all works. So we'll find out. All right. Because I need to give you a context. Otherwise, it won't make any difference. And I also need to make sure I put a link in here so that when we're talking, we're all on the same accord. Thank you for your patience with me and technology. I appreciate you. And what I'm looking for now is need to get one more thing up so that when we're talking, I can invite you to come and engage with me. I'm doing this on purpose. I purposefully want to talk to you. Okay. Okay. And one more thing before I think I got all my pieces. Okay. I'm going to put a link in. Okay. Oh, yeah. Please go ahead and start sharing. Go ahead and push it out. We're going in. If you would like, I should actually have put this in. I'm going to do one more thing because I want to talk. Okay. So I want to put the link into the description for those of you who want to engage with me. All right. But let me break it down first so you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. And I'm going to put the Zoom link in here. Okay. Here is the link to join me live. Oh, thank you for the hearts. So I'm putting the link in. Hey, come on, God, we can do this. Please let it work. Yes. Okay, good. We're cooking with hot grease, y'all. We are cooking with hot grease. Okay. Now, why is it that each time I come here, y'all do this? I'm gonna put in Kanye West. Yes. Bill Cosby. Cosby is spelled with B. Bill Cosby's Y. I'm putting Gar Kelly. Yeah, it's been a rough time for Black men. April was not kind to us. Okay, I'm gonna put in me too. Put in Black Lives Matter. I'm gonna put in times up. I'm gonna put in times up now. And I'm gonna put in Black women. And only because I need you. Black women, entrepreneurs. All right. All right, just to make sure, because I want to make sure everyone gets to this. Okay, so thank you for your patience with me and technology. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. I'm Dr. Venus, your Black Woman Millionaires mentor, and my life is a miracle. By the time I was 16 years old, I was living on the streets, the mean streets, holla and preach, of Baltimore, eating out of trash cans and sleeping in urine and beer. It was my 9th grade math teacher, a Black woman, yay team, who literally saved my life. She taught me through her actions that I wasn't a piece of trash, that I wasn't just a throwaway. And it's because of her tangible love, her real world support, that I am alive and I am well. And I eventually graduated from Stanford University with a second master's degree and a PhD. I have 4 degrees. I was able to take all the survival that kept me alive on the streets and got me through my education and turn it into a system that fast-tracked us to the $1 million mark in just under 3 years. Our company, Defy Impossible, has grossed well over $4 million in the last 5 years. And we're on track to do double that in this year, God's willing, okay? Okay, so with all that being said, I have a sweet spot. I have a real commitment to purpose-driven, spirit-led, high-achieving Black women entrepreneurs to break your first million on your own terms with ease. And the way that I've learned to do that in my business and with my clients over the last 25 years is through healing, okay? And we're on tour. We're on the Black Women Millionaires Tour. Heal your way to 7 figures on your own terms. We're in magnificent Miami. It is glorious. We're going to be doing our thing tomorrow from 1 to 5 at the Hilton, downtown Hilton. All right. And we're literally, there's a beach outside in front of us. It's just great. And I'm looking forward to being with the women. It's just going to be exquisite. So I'm excited about that. Okay. And if you want to meet, if you want to come and hang out and be with us and learn some secrets about being a 7-figure sister, just go to theblackwomanmillionaire.com/tour and grab a seat. Okay. I think that's all I need to say. All right. Now, I will say for those of you who are listening, do me a favor. Go ahead and start tagging people, start posting, start sharing this word. We are about to go in. I'm going in. All right. And I want to talk to you as a Black woman in business, okay? Not as a reaction. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Jackie liked my hair. Woohoo. All right? Because there's no power in that. So I'm not doing that. That's not my interest, okay? What I'm more interested in is you having power in the face of life's challenges so you can make your paper. You can't make your paper if you don't have your power, all right? And so I want to have a committed conversation with you. And it's a pretty important one. And I've been sitting with it for a couple of days, being with it, watching it, reading some things, checking up on some things. And it's profound. All right. What I want to talk to you about is the difference between intent and impact. I'm saying it again. I want to talk to you about the dissonance and the difference between intent and impact. All right. So if you think about it, if you think about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Kaepernick, if you think about the 2 brothers who settled for $1 at Starbucks, Dante, what are my baby's names? Dante. Oh man, there was the other brother who did it. Y'all know what are the names? The black men who are receiving 200,000 to create an entrepreneurship training for young people. I can't think of the name right now, and I had it written down, but I started getting nervous about different pages, so I lost it. Oh, did I? Let me see. No, I was looking at Kanye stuff. But I'm trying to think. I'm gonna call them by their names because I think their names are important. Yes, here they are. It's Dante Robinson and Rayshawn Nelson. Okay, Nielsen. Okay, and how they chose to settle for $1 each out of court and promised from officials to set up a $200,000 program for young entrepreneurs. Okay, so all that's love, and we take that, and we love that, and we honor that because that's important. And it was important to me. Let me say that, all right? And so what I'm interested in for us, okay, I lost us again. Where did I put us? Okay, there we are, okay? I want to talk to you a bit about intent versus impact, all right? Note that I did my makeup, okay? I did my makeup, and I put on my own lashes. This is me trying to be cute. Just, you know, no focus, okay? But thank you for that, Cynthia. I appreciate it. Okay. And so what I want to talk to you about, and I need you to bring your grown self here. I'm trying not to curse. I did an interview today in Miami on Flo Rida's platform. Okay, the rapper Flo Rida. And I didn't curse not once, and I could have. But my publicist is training me not to curse. And we'll see how long it lasts. And for those of you who don't know me, I curse, I cry, and I praise sometimes in the same breath. So if I happen to curse, just love me through it. If you're easily offended, you should leave now because I'm about to say something that's bound to drive you batty. Even if I don't curse, I'm going to say something. And we have an inclusive environment. My wife's a woman, and I love her with every ounce of blood in my body. We have a tribe that's worldwide. We have people in our community who are queer, who are trans, who are white, who are Polish. We'll take it. Atheists, we'll take it. My word, people get fed by my word. So if you're not a person who can honor inclusion, you should leave us. Leave us now. It's all good. No love lost. I respect your walk. You respect our walk. It's all good. But for my tribe, for my ride or die chicks, it's about to get thick. Okay. So, and the brothers who love us and our allies. So let me tell you what I was doing. Okay. I had heard about some things, all right? And oh, my baby sister's here. Thank God. I love her. She helps me. I have heard about Kanye saying something about number 45, who shall remain nameless. And I didn't put too much stock in it because I know he's about to drop a record. That's kind of his MO, right? He becomes provocative right before he's about to produce. And that's fine. I'm not tripping. That's called marketing. It happens every day. I'm not tripping off that. I'm so okay with marketing. And I have no personal about his personal politics. Nothing. So let me help y'all understand. I gives no fucks about his politics. I don't care. I have no concern for this. None. I do not. I was fine with him, you know. Okay, y'all gonna love me through this? Where my sister's at? Cause I'm about to say some shit. I didn't even last for 12 minutes. I was fine. God. I was fine with him choosing to marry a woman who wasn't a black woman. And I was thinking about Gold Digger. And you know that line when he talks about, you get on and you marry a woman who happens to, marry a white girl. And I'm clear that Kim is not white. And I love who you love. I have no problems with none of it. Okay, so let me just get all that out the way so we don't have to have that conversation. Okay. And I think he is a musical genius. When Jesus Walks, when he did his early work, y'all, I felt like he changed the music industry. I felt like he was to me at that time what Lauryn Hill was to me in when Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill dropped. Okay. So I want y'all to be very clear. I love him. I ain't got no problems with that. You have a right to your own ideas. You have a right to your own free speech. You have a right to to free thinking? You do, I do. So let's just have that be the base of this conversation, okay? Not a problem. I'm cool with it all, okay? Until Jesus, until he went to slavery. Now, I want y'all to know, I am a remarkably compassionate person. I am remarkably empathetic, okay? There's not too much you can say or do that will surprise me. And I have to be responsible, okay, for the fact that I didn't see the whole TMZ interview. So let's just walk this slow, all right? We only saw clips. You and I know that the media, and I'm not even poo-pooing on the media. I love what Michelle Wolf did. Y'all see, I may have to do something about Michelle Wolf. This white chick who came for everybody at the Correspondents' Dinner, okay? She did it good. And I can't get into that right now because I got to deal with Kanye's ass. But my point is this. I'm good with free thought and free speech. I'm good with that. Please feel me when I say this, okay? But the moment you evoke the history of slavery in any conversation in this current climate, okay, where you have Black men being shot damn near every day, okay, you got Black females' bodies being dragged on the ground with their shirts being pulled up for being sassy. You have Black men, educated business Black men who are young, be arrested in a fucking Starbucks. I'm still pissed off about that one, y'all. I haven't made it past that. I'm coming, but I'm not there yet. And you got, and you have Black women who are being called the cops on to get out of a golfing course because they're moving too slow. And then you got Black women who are being shot and there's no coverage. You see what I'm saying? And you have Black babies who are being positioned in schools as dumb and being put on Prozac and all. I want to say Vicodin, but no, it's not Vicodin. Put on prescription medicine because they're a problem. The moment you invoke that history, and y'all feel me on this, the moment you evoke the history of slavery in any fucking conversation you've got, the moment you say that word, you have just brought to the forefront every fucking wound that we have lived through. Now, I'm supposed to be working on my cursing. We'll see how long that lasts. Here's what I need you to understand. I believe Kanye when he says his intent is about having us not be in mental bondage. I believe him. I don't think he's lying. I think he's serious. Now, let me help you understand what I'm going to say. All right, so here's what you need to understand. Anytime you have an intention to do something with somebody and help them understand some things, you have to deal with that your intention is not the same as the impact. I'm going to say that again. Your intention is not the same as your impact. They're not the same thing. It's like a person who's drunk, who intends to get home, the impact of that person who's dead in the other car was not that the driver's intention, but the impact is somebody's dead. Okay? So we need to talk about the distinction between intention and impact. Again, I am not coming for Kanye. I have no interest in that. You are my priority. Okay? You need to understand that, Black woman. The only thing I'm got my eye on is your paper, is you actually being free. And the thing that I want y'all to contend with Kanye is you need to take the case and to be fair, let's try to fix it, God. To be fair, his mama died. His record, Pablo didn't play. It was, it didn't do what he thought it should do. His fashion line and all, he's taken some hits. Let's put it like that. Hey, Tamiko, he's taken some hits. All right. He's taken some hits. I'm not tripping off that. And it's clear to me that he's lonely, but that's a whole nother level. Okay. But I do think success is lonely. I know he talked about being addicted to the painkillers. I get that. I know he's talked about his wife being, kidnapped. I get that. If someone messed with Lisa, I don't know if I would get up off the floor. So I have complete compassion for that. Okay. And I have no interest in defending his actions. This shit was fucked up to say. So I'm fine with all of that. And I firmly believe that what he was out to communicate around us as a people not being trapped in a historical wound called slavery. I hear his intent. No, thank you. I got Q from Miami. I see you, Anissa. His intent to communicate. The problem with the logic is this. He's not accounting for the social systems that have actually undermined us leaving the institution of slavery. Okay. I think Katrina, I think you're right. His delivery is way off. I'm with you with that. Well, thank you. Everyone says I look beautiful today. I did my own makeup. Okay. Make sure you're sharing this. Please don't, because I'm not remembering to share it. So please make sure you push this out or tag your sisters because we need to talk about it. I think because he has said what he said about number 45, and then when he said his thing with on TMZ, there was already distrust. You see what I'm saying? But what I need you to understand is more salient than his mental well-being or saving Kanye or him promoting an album. Let's take all of that for granted. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I have no problem with that. I don't care about that. This is what I need you to understand. And I don't know if he will ever catch this because he's not my student. He's not mine. You're mine. And I don't know who he would listen to if he did, right? But you need to deal with that your intention has nothing to do with your impact. You could intend the very best, whatever you say. You could say, look, I'm just trying to help you. You could have that intention. But your intention doesn't have the impact is damaging. Okay? And what's missing from Kanye's communication, and even let's say in the best sense of the word, his stand for our freedom. Let's try it. All right, let's try it. What's missing is context. To cavalierly say slavery was a choice in 400 years. Kanye needed the hug more than Van did. I take that. When you say that, what you're doing is erasing. You're erasing all of the social systems that kept us in bondage. You see, I said this in another live not too long ago about social positioning. And I'm really going to have to deep dive into this because it's got to get out there. Bill Cosby has social status because of his money. Kanye has social, check it out. He has social, I don't want to say currency because that's not fair anymore because he lost some of that. I think he has social hubris, all right? Meaning that we have always rewarded Kanye for being bold. Remember when he said Bush doesn't like black people? We rewarded him for that. We rewarded him for standing up for Beyonce and saying Taylor Swift's album wasn't as good. We rewarded him for that. We emboldened him. We as a community, we embolden Kanye's boldness, his recklessness. Okay. So I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, this is what we do. So he knows himself as somebody who's a disruptor. And the thing is, we rewarded it by buying his albums. I'm not tripping off of that either. None of that is my main concern in this conversation. What I want y'all to hear is this. Anytime you evoke the history of slavery you're going to run into a wall of pain. You're going to run into a wall of hurt. And it's not a regular conversation. You can talk about football, you can talk about dinner, but the moment you start talking about slavery, you have actually pissed on people's graves, because of the level of hurt that's there for us that has never been healed, because we never had an opportunity, because we've been surviving ever since. And Van, the young man who was young man from TMZ, Van, the guy who checked him in the most beautiful, loving Black man way, because I can't see anybody else have been able to say that and it landing. When Van had said, and I'm unbelievably hurt, it was so beautiful. One, for a Black man who said it, and he was able to say what we felt without cursing, which I'm very impressed by. But more than anything, he pointed to, in a beautifully respectful way, that Kanye's genius is not under question. He's earned that right, and he has. Okay, he has. I have no problems with that. And Kanye as an artist, or even as a person, all right, doesn't live in the world that we live in. He's removed from that. Everything he's saying in theory is correct. Everything, he's right. There are more of us than there were of massa. He's right. If we wanted to uprise, we could get some guns, we could do some stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not wrong in his logic, but his logic disavows the consequence of not having the militia on our side. You see what I'm saying? Or having the education to actually do the things that we would need to do in order to level the playing field. We've been working on that shit for 400 fucking years, right? So it's not that he's wrong about mental slavery, but he's speaking as if we are, he's speaking as if the playing ground was level field from the get-go, and it wasn't. And if you look at his career, every move that Kanye's made, he's had some kind of support, whether it's Jay-Z or whether it's Scooter. He's a Jewish guy who was his manager, who was the manager for what's that brother's name? He's Justin Timberlake, Jewish guy who put him on in terms of expanding his brand. He had access to people who gave him fucking access. Do you understand? He got access because other people gave him access, and he's not accounting for the access. He may be accounting for his willpower. He may be accounting for his genius, but he's not accounting for who opened the fucking door. So when you start talking about slavery and you evoke that history in a very cavalier manner, you're speaking about it as a theory. It's a very, very, very entitled, ooh, God help me, please, Jesus. It's a very entitled, arrogant, dragon fire, boisterous position, because it doesn't account for people who don't have the same access. You see what I'm saying? Or the same protection. I will tell you this. Thank you, Justin Bieber. Thank you. I will tell you this. When you are rich, you have some measure of protection. Not all, but some. I was looking at Jay-Z's cliff notes from his album 444, and he had these conversations, these brothers with rich Black men, different Black men getting together talking, right? And he just put the camera on, and it was beautiful because you got to hear what it was like for them to talk among themselves, right? And what I thought was delicious was Chris Rock was talking about, well, you know, when you're rich, you get some relief, but not all, right? He was talking about it. And what I loved was to hear how Black men, when they're not defensive, what they say, right? So when Van was talking to Kanye, it was a beautiful moment to see how when Black men, or at least I should say Black men, are emotionally mature enough to actually talk to each other in a level of respect. And a lot of times Black men don't get the respect. They get positioned as the enemy or the danger or the threat. So then they have to tone it down to just live and stay alive. You see what I'm saying? So when Kanye makes a cavalier statement without contextualizing it, and to be fair, we haven't seen the whole tape from TMZ. We only saw the clips. We saw the most provocative clips. That's what media do. Y'all gotta get better at this. The media is designed to be aberrant. It is designed for that. So y'all can't get offended by the media because it's designed to provoke. It's designed to exploit. Whether exploiting for good or bad is irrelevant to the media, y'all. It doesn't work like that. Exploiting is the nature of media. You see what I'm saying? So y'all, again, you're fighting the wrong fight. Y'all doing fairness again. It doesn't work like that. You have to be able to hear through the propaganda to actually land on what the hell is this really about. And I will tell you this, my biggest takeaway for me, for you, and us is this. And I need you to look in your own real life. Look in your own real life when you had an intention, but the impact was damaging for somebody else. Anybody? Anybody? Seriously, I want to talk to you about it. And the thing is, I have a link. I want to talk to you about intent versus impact. I'm not trying to save Kanye. I'm not defending Kanye. I have no interest in any of that. I only care about you winning in life. And as a Black woman or historically marginalized person of any race, okay, then you have to be able to understand social positioning and social dynamics in order to navigate it so that you don't get caught out there and you undermine your own brand. You see what I'm saying? It's not messy media, but Anissa, this is media. They've been doing this shit since World War I. It's called yellow journalism. It's called propaganda. Y'all, listen, nothing's happened that's new. Nothing that happened is new. This is old school shit. Y'all should go look up yellow journalism so you'll know what it is, and go look up propaganda. Go look up the 1940s when it came time for World War I, okay? Go check up on it, okay? Hey, Michelle, yes, but it's not tricky, y'all. Politics, y'all need to, I think that what's missing is and you have to understand this if you're doing money. You don't have to understand this if you just want to be a pedestrian. If you want to be a pedestrian, just react all over the place, like doing. But if you want to have if you want to have power in America, you got to have your paper, you got to be healed, but more than anything, you have to fucking think. You cannot let the pieces you see determine how you flow. That is what I want you to hear. So I have no interest in Kanye. I have no interest in 45. They are not my concern. You are my concern. And then my job is to train you up in terms of being able to be a Black woman millionaire so that not only do you make your money, you fucking keep it. Zumba says, no one in the room wanted to challenge the statements. Not Charles or Harvey, their executive. What does that say? I saw the unedited footage. It doesn't matter to me. Honey, what? Yeah, I don't need them to challenge the statements. His statements are his statements. Your statements are yours. And I understand about, people have, yellow journalism. That's right. Yellow journalism, go look it up. Don't take my word for it. Fact check me. Go look it up. You need to get educated. Otherwise, you're going to get took. All right. I don't want them to challenge. I don't need someone to challenge him. That's y'all. When you challenge him, you just feed the machine. Do you understand that? When y'all do this sensational propaganda, I'll take it. When y'all start creating a whole fever around right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, that they make money. Do you understand? Like, they're winning because we get triggered, which is what Kanye was pointing to. We get triggered by certain things and then we stop thinking, we start reacting. And I don't even think that's a bad thing. What I want you to understand is you can't do your money like that. You see what I'm saying? You can't do your money like, you can if you want to, but if you're being trained by me, we don't do that. We don't react to people's, their own wounds. Let them have their wounds. They don't need, there's no defending. That's to me like a child being on a playground saying, you get them. Yeah, you get them. Yeah, you should get them. Yeah. It's like, that's not us. That's not us. Let the people who are not as evolved spiritually as we are go and do all that. What we're doing is transforming the world. And you cannot do that without your money. You can't do that if you don't have your own paper. So, but you have to understand that this behavior that Kanye is demonstrating is in each one of us. And I'm looking for someone who's willing to tell the truth about when they had one intention, they had an intention, but the impact just trashed something. And if you know, if you're willing to have that conversation with me, there's a link in the description, okay? And I'll put it here as well. I hope I don't cut off anything, because I would love to hear somebody talk to me about when they had a particular intent and it turned out that that intent did not help. You know, it actually did more harm than good. When I was, and I'm gonna tell you a story about something I did that was kind of fucked off, and I didn't know it, but it trained the hell out of me. I never do that shit again. When I was coming up, when I was on the streets, right? Can I put it here, God? Okay, great. Here's the link, because I would love to I'm pasting the link, okay? So we can just, that way you can join me, we can have a conversation. And please keep pushing this video out. Please keep tagging people. It's a worthy conversation. You know, we'll talk about who's dating who, but will we talk about intent versus impact? And if we don't get enough of us in the conversation, then what we're going to have is the propaganda machine eating us alive, all right? And so I would love to be in communication with somebody who'd be willing to get on the screen with me and talk about their intention and how the impact of that was damaging, all right? I'm gonna give you an example. When I was coming up off the streets, I was out there, and some of y'all know this, some of you don't. If you're new to me, then love me through it, okay? But I was, one of the jobs I had was I used to pick up the tips for the strippers, okay? And it was one of the ways I could be safe and protected, and stay out of harm's way a lot, because they looked out for me, right? And I would let them know who was coming through the door, who was driving a nice car, blah 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 blah, right? Well, there was this dude who was sweet on me, and I didn't think anything about it because I was surviving. I wasn't even in that conversation, right? But he was very sweet on me, and he was nice to me. He fed me, and y'all know food was my thing. Lisa, can you hear my plug, please? Because I'm going to lose battery. Anyway, he was sweet on me, and I didn't. I guess the best way to say it is I was so wounded. I didn't honor it. I didn't understand it. All right. Anyway, in my cavalierness, okay, me being, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without taking y'all through a lot of extra. Where's the plug? Thank you, babe. I gotta plug my computer right. All right. Bottom line is I was sloppy. I was sloppy with his heart. I was sloppy with his feelings. He tried to take care of me, tried to look out for me. And he was a great guy. And I said something awful. I said some bullshit and didn't think anything of it. And the very next day, he tried to kill himself. And I come in the bathroom, there's blood everywhere. It's everything, and so call the ambulance, get to the hospital, and he lived, right? But I was so in my world of just getting by and surviving. I wasn't intending to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't intending, I don't even know. I was so not, how can I say this? I was surviving, y'all. I was just fucked up. I was wounded. And when you're wounded people do wounded shit. And I did some wounded stuff. And so I never forgot that. You see what I'm saying? I never forgot that. I never forgot that I wasn't intending to hurt him, but I know I said something that was so blase, didn't have a clue about the damage. And it had consequence. So what I'm looking for is I would love to have someone join me on Zoom who'll be willing to have the conversation about impact. Oh, someone's here. Hold on, let me try. Hold on a second. Okay, Danielle Fisher, let's see what we got. Okay, are you here, Danielle? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, great. Let me see if I can get you on the I want to see if I can move you to panelists so we can see your face. Thank you for jumping on with me. I really wanted to have a dialogue today, and I'm hoping this works.
Can you see me?
Okay, where you at? I see a darkness. I can kind of see you.
Hold on. I guess I need
the light.
I guess I need light.
Yes, you really need light. Okay, there's a bunch of people looking at you. Okay, and they're going to be looking at you because they want to let this run. Okay, where are you? I can almost see your face. Okay, there's all. Okay, there you go. Almost. Yes. There's light. There is light. Okay.
There's light.
Thank you so much. That's perfect. Thank you for jumping on. And make sure you look into look into the camera so we can see you. Because if you look at the screen, it's like this. So you have to look at the camera. Okay, perfect. There you go. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, I appreciate you. You look lovely. You look beautiful. All right.
I just got off of work.
That's okay. It's a Friday night, girl. It's all good. So what we're talking about is between intent and impact, and really being honest about that. You can have an intention, but your impact can just be damaging. Do you have when was there a time in your life when you had a certain intention that you actually thought was kind of good, or you didn't put in too much emphasis on it, or you were just kind of cavalier about it, but it was damaging for somebody else?
Oh, it would be my deceased husband.
Oh wow!
He was ill for about 9 years, and I was sole caregiver, working full time, taking care of both my children, going to school full time, and I thought I could do it. Yeah. You know, my intention was to take care of him because that was my duty as his wife and as my children's mom. And so my intention was to take care of him. But what ended up happening was I became very bitter because I felt that there were some things that he could be doing and he just chose not to. And so, and I think that choice that I made to get the divorce from him, the impact was felt with my children. It was felt with my entire family. And I had no idea that impact would have touched so many lives. And it did. And so I did. I made the choice to say I want a divorce. And he, moved out and got an apartment, and he decided to contest the divorce. And 2 years after, during that time that we were going through the divorce, he died. Wow. And so I just think, back even today, because I did remarry. So even today I think back, if I could have done something else, because I think of my children all the time. That's who I could care less about anybody else. The impact that it had on my kids, if I could do it over, I probably would have done differently. That's what I'm thinking. But my intent was always to take care of him, was to take care of my kids and everything. The impact of making that choice.
Profound.
Yeah.
It's just like reverberations. Like it's like a ripple effect of impact. So it's going to impact how they raise their children, who they marry. This is the same thing people are saying about Kanye's statements. The impact, the ripple effect of it. Because his statements now can be used with the alt-right to justify certain things. It emboldens the Klan people because now they think they have A-list celebrity who's endorsing and backing their behaviors with no relationship to, we got to deal with them when you're gone. When you're over in Paris with Kim, we got to deal with the fucking po-po up in this bitch. You see what I'm saying? With no relationship to that, there's a ripple effect because of who you are. Because you're his wife, because you're the mom, because you're in that position. It trickles down. And I can see, and I know other women who are caretakers, even for their mothers, not just for their spouses. And that resentment kicks in. I have a friend of mine from Baltimore. Her husband got hit, and she did the same thing you did. Faith-based chick, loving on her husband, and he wouldn't participate. He wouldn't do the physical therapy. Oh my, she was livid.
Yes, he would.
Livid. So now she has to lift him up. She's not that big. You know what I'm saying? She has to do all this extra because his spirit is so broken. He's kind of given up. So, but in her mind, she's like, you're not helping me help you. And that resentment set in, and it just, everything got dirty because in her logic, if he would just help a little bit, if you know what I'm saying? So then what gets evoked is this unfairness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly how she's feeling. And not only what he's saying, what he said has an impact on all those other people, but what I'm saying is making me sad is the fact that other Black people are starting to say, yeah, he's right. And I'm like, are you an idiot? Are you serious? I cannot believe that you would actually think that's slavery. I mean, you need to learn your history. That's what they need to do, is learn their history.
But I think we all need to learn our history. You know what I'm saying? We all need to learn history, but I think that this is what I've learned about human beings, Danielle. This is something I have had to surrender to, because it keeps you from being bitter. Okay? People follow people that they endow with authority. It's like if you go to your doctor and your doctor. For all the men on the front line, forgive me. I'm past 40, right? And I found out I had what do you call those things? Benign fibroid tumors, right?
Right.
And it scared the bejesus out of me, because they're like, well, you need a hysterectomy, which means they have to cut me. And I went right to Tuskegee Airmen. I went back to every medical. Shit's real for me. I'm like, and there's a white doctor like, they want my uterus. They want me. I went right to that, right?
Right.
And because I spent so much cultivating my ability to think through things, I have a great support system. I realized that the doctor doesn't get to say. Right. But if you're somebody who hasn't been cultivated and thinking through things, if you've always worked for other people, you've learned to take orders. You've learned to take direction. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how you get paid. That's how you live. If they say come at 9 and you have been trained to come at 9, you're probably going to come at 9. You see what I'm saying? And so, but I ended up getting a whole nother procedure that didn't require to take my female parts. But but that's an entrepreneur thinking. That's somebody who's been trained to question authority, not as disruptive, and I could be disruptive, but to know that I feel good about the choice. I didn't just acquiesce. Most people haven't been trained like that.
Right.
If you trust Bill Cosby as America's dad, who is going to help you move forward in your career, and you just happen to take a fucking drink, what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? You just happen to take a drink. You're like, I'm thirsty. Here's some water. What the hell? Like, because you're trusting that this authority is got your best interest at heart. So the people who jump on the bandwagon of what Kanye is saying, they're still in a reaction because they don't have all the data. The benefit of being a Black woman entrepreneur, to being a Black woman millionaire, is that it trains you to actually get all the information before you make a call. You see what I'm saying? If we haven't seen the whole TMZ interview, we don't know what happened before that statement. Right. We just know that piece. So again, propaganda. You pull out the piece that's most sensational, get people up in an emotional fervor. We see 45 do this every time. Okay. And people stop thinking and they start following. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. This has been the oldest trick in the human condition. If you want to distract people from the real work, create an upset. Right. The best offense is defense. If you're trying to get people off the scent, it's like someone who cheats. You know what I'm saying? How dare you not trust me? You don't trust me. It's this whole thing. What? Now I'm like, well, maybe I don't trust you. I need to show you I trust you. Versus the fact, I don't trust you. You fucking lied. Okay, so I don't trust you. Let's go look at it. Let me smell your sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you have to really, and I don't know if that came out right, so forgive me. I hope that didn't come out too straight. But my point is that if they are jumping on the bandwagon, it's because they're followers and they haven't been trained to be leaders yet, which is why we're so needed. I believe that we're needed more desperately in this time period than we have ever been needed in human history. And I think that Black women, I'm sorry, go ahead. I got happy. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, after he said that, I'm thinking, where are the intellects that have delved into this history that we have? Where are they? Because I don't hear them.
Well, they're out there. They're out there. They're on Twitter, mostly Black Twitter. And there we are. You know, I live and die on social media, right? But it's not the same as the civil rights, where it was the public intellectual had the same kind of authority as hip hop artists. You're dealing with different generations, right? In terms of how we process information. Historically, we would have had a Malcolm, a Dr. King, a Al Sharpton, or somebody saying this is da 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 da. But in the climate we have today with 45, and with the alt-right flexing, you see what I'm saying? What we could have done no longer works in this climate. You see what I'm saying? Because it only feeds more fuel to the fire. And that's the biggest challenge, is that we haven't figured out yet that the way the media works is based on our reactions. So we have a reaction, and then we start doing stuff that gives them more fodder, that gives them more advertising dollars, right? And nothing gets resolved. It just goes into the forgetfulness of time until the next big upset shows up. You see what I'm saying? So it's just all smoke and mirrors.
I do. I understand that, but it's that old saying that, when my mom reminds me that, young people, when they become babies in Christ, right? You say this, and you say that, and you say, well, this is how we get the young people into the church. But you know what? The word is still the word, and it's the same. It was the same 50 years ago.
Yes, and it will be the same 50 years from now too. Where'd you go? I can't hear you. Okay.
Sorry. To say that.
It's okay.
To say that this is how we're going to get the young people into church. Yeah, but this word is going to get them to stay into church.
I'm gonna tell you know what, I don't know about this is what I believe. I don't know what would get someone to the church, but what I can say is this: what I have learned in my lived experience is that the people who have embodied the spirit of Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and God have had the most impact on me. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's been like Nana. She's devout. She was her whole family's AME, and they understood my background. They understood exactly what I came from, and they didn't judge me, right? And so it gave me a little more room, and I could actually learn about the word because they were walking it. You see what I'm saying? And I want you to know, it wasn't because they took me to the church. I was scared of church. I'm still a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that you're right about the word of God. I think that it is a salve. I think it is a solution. But until you have somebody live it through you, it doesn't occur the same way. Like, I think everybody who is devout, they've had, did you hear who, me? What's that? Am I doing something? I'm sorry, my thing is talking to me. No, what I have discovered is, I have a phone, I got devices. What I have discovered is that there's this wonderful book called Stop Acting Like a Christian. I love this woman. She's not kidding. And I can't think of her name. Let me look it up. It's a great book. I was reading one of her other books and it was dope. Let me tell you, her name is, she's Australian. She does with the sex trafficking. She has this whole nonprofit around it. It's Christine Kane. She's had this book called Stop Acting Like a Christian. I was like, go ahead, girl. So my point is, I think you're absolutely right. And I do think it's a spiritual evolution, okay? And I do think that there's a gateway through people who actually walk the talk. The disheartening part about Kanye is on some level, we thought he was walking the talk. And as time has shown us, his wounds are bigger than I think he knows. Yes, ma'am, you were saying?
Yes, that is so true. I think have you ever noticed that he always does this big kind of production right around the time that his mom was passed? I didn't even realize that. A friend of mine pointed that out to me today, that he always comes out of his shelf or whatever right around the time when his mom passed. And that's so true that he does that. I didn't even realize that, but I don't know. I think
thank you for saying, no, but